Yes, I heard some lovely things here, really. It's always such a joy to hear when it just shows when, you know, good work and intelligent work has been put into the preparation. I don't mean anything underhand by saying intelligent work, but you really do have to think about what you do, what you're doing, and how you're communicating the music to your listener. Even if the piece really gets out of the environment where it's just you and your teacher, we still have to imagine how it is to play this for an audience. The imagined audience is always there. And I think this is the thing which, in this terrible time with the pandemic, that us performers have really been struggling with, is that we need that feedback from an audience. We really need flesh and blood to listen to us. I, for one, cannot play for a microphone and hope that it's going to move somebody. It doesn't work for me. I suppose I'll have to change. But at the moment, I still feel that rapport with the live audience is crucial. So one has to imagine that as part of your preparation. There were some lovely things, if I may single a few out. The piece by Telemann from the Kleine Kammermusik. A very beautiful, very sprightly performance. And I thought that even if the word rhetoric hasn't yet been used, the way that the cadences were played in a very, very musical way, and in such a way that one could understand the structure, one could understand the rhetorical structure of the piece. So that's something which I think you can have a nice, invigorating conversation with your teacher. Very well done. Just a few little things. I'm just going to focus on one, and it's a trap that nearly everybody falls into. In a faster tempo, when you have a rhythm such as dum, tiddy dum, tiddy dum, tiddy dum, it is so easy to play it literally, and the effect is that in this case it's one quaver and two semiquavers repeated. We played 3 times, in fact, in the bar, because the piece is in triple time. But the quaver, the 8th note, appears a little shorter, and the 16ths appear a little fatter. And it's one of the hardest things to get right, but these are not my words, and I've mentioned them many times to people in the past, and they look at me and they think, where do you come from? But I didn't say this. This comes from Leopold Mozart. Having said that, I must just change that. It's not W.A. Mozart, it was Leopold Mozart in the report. Leopold Mozart had this thing about, if you want to get passages like this with these sort of rhythms to be convincing, it's a good idea to imagine the longer notes slightly longer and the shorter notes slightly shorter. So instead of da 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 da, but dum da da dum tiddy dum da da da. It's a very fine balance, and it's almost impossible to notate it. You have to learn to feel it. And as I say, with certain kinds of music, especially French music, you know it's right when you can smell the perfume. It's a tricky thing, but when you get that right, suddenly everything falls into place. So just be aware of that, and it's I'm nitpicking on a very small little thing, but otherwise the performance was really, really quite excellent. The last piece that I heard, I just want to use that as an example. It was very rhythmically played. Just felt that here the tempo could be a little bit quicker. This is the Muscat Rumble. With all these da 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 da, sort of a ragtime rhythm. If one gets the piece really well controlled and takes it a little bit faster, it will really suddenly come across on a different level. And just some technical points. I think we're very careful, especially with the notes on the treble recorder below C2. In other words, those that are mostly operated by the right hand. Be careful that there's always this fear, oh, I'm not going to be heard because they're quiet, and then there's too much air and they're just on the verge of cracking. So be careful, then they need to be clear. Accept what your instrument can do and don't force it. Your accompanist will be sympathetic to that. And in this, unlike the piece I mentioned earlier, the green sleeves to a ground, where the articulations as printed are a little bit overdone, a little bit over the top. Here, in such a piece as this Muscat Rumble, I think you really have to play them very literally. A lot of this, the sort of the effect of the sort of the jauntiness of the ragtime rhythm come out with ya ya da di di dum ba. So when they are staccatos, try and make them a little bit more literal, and especially if you have, for instance, 7 notes underneath a slur. Dee, da, da, da. It's so much more effective if you really do it literally. Yeah, just small things to think about, but in all cases, I felt excellent preparation, and this is what it's about. It's about getting all the planets in alignment and getting yourself in alignment with them, and then knowing that you have to make this recording, and then today's the day. And this is so much part about what we do with music. It's time management. And when we learn that and we instill that in a joyful way, a positive way with our young players, then I always believe there will be a future. Beautiful things can come from that. So, thank you very much.